response. At 0. At the number 4 response. Number 35. At number 5. At the other guard position. Number 24. And coach the visiting team's game. The other guard, at 6 foot 6 inches, number 2, Davis. The big man, 7 feet, number 7, starting at all four, at 6 foot 9 inches, number 0. At the other forward position, standing 6 foot 8, number 23, Tyrell Taylor. The head coach of the home team has let's hear it for the team.
Welcome and happy holidays from 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action. Along with our broadcast team of Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldrich, Kevin Harlan, I hope you'll join us in welcoming our very special guest to the broadcast tonight, the terrific, the legendary Kobe Bryant has put on a headset and placed himself at our broadcast position. Kobe, this is really terrific. Thank you for coming by.
No, I'm always happy to stop by.
A contest in the West. We'll see if the Dallas Mavericks can please their home crowd.
Ready, gentlemen? Ready?
And for those of us who have never played at this level, it must be a thrill to contend against the best in the world. But also with that comes a lot of pressure. How do you handle the balance between enjoying the game and the pressure that's on you in the game?
I've never felt pressure. I'm not really sure what that is. I mean, you'll have moments where you'll make game-winning shots, and it's fantastic.
Never nervous.
No. At times where you'll miss it, and then people won't like you very much. But then the next game, you hit a game winner, and everybody loves you. And then you miss the next one, and everybody don't like you again. Right? So why would I stress out over quote-unquote pressure? It doesn't make any sense to me.
How about the responsibility to your teammates and to your own built-in pressures to perform like Kobe Bryant?
Even that, right?
Yeah.
Even that. There'll be games where you make them, and your teammates are thanking you for it. At times when you miss it, and your teammates are like, dang, man, you got to do better, right? So it's ebbs and flows all the time. And internally, I just do what I practice. So there's no reason for me to be nervous or apprehensive because I've done this shot thousands and thousands and thousands of times. I just have to do it one more time.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the court right now for San Francisco. San Francisco shooting their first shots of the night from the charity stripe.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
And he knocks down the first one. And good on the second, so he makes them both. And here is Taylor. He had 19 points in the win against the Clippers.
Oh, well, his rebounding stood out, too. He gave them a big lift on the boards.
Now here is Davis. 6 to shoot. Kicks to Taylor. From deep three-point range, Barnes grabs the miss.
Yeah, early on, 3 misses to open the game. Their offense right now still trying to find its way.
Kobe, a lot of guys, once they stop playing, their bodies change.
Yeah.
Yet they still have the ailments.
That's generous.
But a lot of guys have ailments that linger on through their career. What kind of workout? We know you were just a workout fiend when you played, but what about now in retirement?
I work out hard.
Do you?
know, yeah, it's become a challenge to say, because most players, when they retire, say, you know what, I just don't want to gain a boatload of weight, right? And so they just try to manage that. I don't want to manage something. I want to attack something. So I'm going to say, you know what?
Well, that's a surprise.
Yeah, revelation. And so I said, I'm going to train harder than I ever did because I want to look good. I want to be fit for my children. I want to be able to chase them around and be able to show up at some of these retirement ceremonies or some of these other things.
And looking like you did when you played.
Being in great shape.
Yeah.
So.
Now here's Barnes. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game.
Not getting anything to fall here early. 4 straight misses to start the game.
Here's Davis. And there's the pass to White. Takes the 3. And it's San Francisco with the rebound. And Kobe, you're staying in shape even now. Isn't it sad sometimes to see how a lot of guys don't do that?
Yeah, it's hard, right? Because you have a purpose to train.
Yes.
Now you wake up, you're like, oh, what's my purpose for training? Like, what do I need to be doing this for? No, I'll do it tomorrow. No, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And all of a sudden, those handles start creeping from the back to the front. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tomorrow's today.
My clothes don't fit.
Yeah.
My clothes don't fit.
Tomorrow should have been yesterday.
It'll be San Francisco with their first time out of the game here.
And not surprising, obviously unhappy with the lack of response from his team.
Well, the pace right now, that's being dictated to them. They have to try to get it back to their tempo, to their style again.
You'd better keep your hands up if you've been playing with these guys over the past month, because if you're open, they'll find you. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Looking to end the run, and down it goes, jamming that one home.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Now here's White. He has 5. Here's Taylor. Lays it up off the glass. Taylor's got his second basket of the night. Kobe, a lot of guys would keep written notebooks on team styles, individual players. Some do it mentally. What did you do?
I used to do that too at the start, and then I started kind of looking at the lineage of coaches and started figuring out that most of them come from the same coaching pedigree. Therefore, the defensive packages are pretty much the same.
So you studied coaches.
Well, yeah, because the defensive schematics are all the same. Like, if you look around now, how many Popovich disciples do you have?
A lot.
Right, so you're essentially playing against the same defensive strategy that you would see against a Popovich team. The same offensive philosophy that you would see from a Popovich team. Right? So it's all consistent. It's all there.
Six on the shot clock. Offensive rebound. Can't cash in from close range.
Some tough D in the paint, getting between him and the bucket and stopping the easy deuce.
Davis kicks to White. Taylor against Barnes. Outside, White. And the 3 off target. San Francisco trails by 5. Barnes left side. Fires the 3. Drains the three-pointer. Barnes has got his first 3 points of the game.
Wow, he's a confident shooter from three-point range. I mean, even with the D hovering near him.
Outside, White. Pass to Taylor. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
And you just hate to give up those second chance points.
It can be discouraging, frustrating, but you only have yourselves to blame. Box out.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
This season, the percentage right around 72%, so not the kind of success he was hoping for.
Let's talk about something that I know fascinates basketball fans, Kobe, having that competitive streak, which is something that runs deep for you. Talk about the desire to dominate and completely destroy your opponent.
Well, it's the spirit of competition, right? I don't think you're doing anybody any service by going out there and competing half-hearted, right? If you truly respect the person that you're facing, then the right thing to do is to compete as hard as you possibly can against them to bring the best out of them. And that's on both ends of the floor. You can't be a one-way dominant player. You can't just compete on the offensive end and take it off in the defensive end. You got to play both sides of the ball.
Your motor never stopped. I mean, that's from our perspective on the sideline, watching you play on both ends of the floor, like you said.
Yeah, you got to keep going. And to do that, you have to train really, really hard in the off-season. Yeah, that's a lot of conditioning. It's a lot of weight training, right? You have to train in extraordinary ways in order to do extraordinary things.
Pass to Jones. Outside, Taylor. Off target from three-point range. San Francisco trails by 4. He's guarded by Davis. From the wing, Taylor with the rebound. Taylor's got his 5th rebound in this one. Davis, the pass to Taylor, to the inside.
Oh, Kevin, not a Petty, not a Manny, but a facial.
Oh, a bounce to the ounce, Greg? Yeah, showing off the bunny. And San Francisco calls time here.
And when you take a look at that shot chart, the amount of misses lately, really unbelievable.
Man, this is a joke. Right? I mean, there have been some glimpses of hope, but they've been few and far between.
To the middle. Defended by Jones. Kobe, in other sports, I mean, people always admired the mind of Peyton Manning playing in the NFL. Tom Brady, the way he thinks the game through. I compare you to that. Did you have that same kind of fascination in other sports with the great players that were similar to you in basketball?
Yeah, we used to get together. I remember the first time I met Peyton was at an Orlando Magic game, 99. He came in the locker room and we were just getting started. So I was just asking him questions about his process and stuff. And he started going to mock cover 2 and and I was like, and he went on for like a good 5 minutes. When he was done, I said, Peyton, I don't understand anything you just said, right? But he spoke at a level of detail that was beyond fascinating.
You were impressed by that?
Yes, which then leads to more questions. You're like, Tom and I talk often about that stuff too, and how much we love the game, how much we love the process and the attention to every little detail. It's fun to be around, no matter the industry.
Hart, no good. San Francisco trails by 3. To the middle, picked off in midair. Jones drives in, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
I mean, he's out there on an island, all by himself. I mean, good job to stay cool and drink.
.105 left in the first quarter. San Francisco passing it around. 5 on the clock. San Francisco again missing. 39% in the early minutes of this game. Here's Hart. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Tries from the block, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. There's 38 seconds left in the first quarter. To the inside. And Jones sends it back. Here's Hart. The offensive rebound. And the shot is good.
The tenacity on that interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will for second chance points.
To the right side. Just 3 on the clock. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
For San Francisco, they've been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
And once he gets into a groove like that, you can just count him.
And so it's the home team heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. And we'll be right back after this. Now you see a lot of players who pick up a controller and fire up NBA 2K, thank goodness, including the king himself, LeBron James.
I play 2K all the time. Seriously, when I'm playing the game, I'm putting certain...
Always experimenting, always keeping his mind engaged, Greg, with basketball.
And that's who Bron is. He lives, breathes, and eats basketball.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And guys, what's your take on the home team so far?
For me, that defense in the first period, just tremendous shot blocking.
Well, it's all about the rim protection because it's been fantastic. A big part of helping them build this early lead.
On the court right now for San Francisco. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game. And they say the capacity for work is one of the great indicators for an NBA prospect. That motivation. Kobe, I can't believe you had a lot of trouble being motivated, knowing the way you are, the way you're wired.
Well, you just got to find what makes you tick.
Right.
Right? And sometimes it's hard for players to look internally and figure out what that is. And so as coaches or teachers or parents, it's our responsibility to find what that is in our children or players or students and bring it out of them.
Well said. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Kyle Kuzma had a tough upbringing in Flint, Michigan. He said they had the recession, lead in the water. It was like an urban war zone. We probably moved 14 times before I was 16. Basketball was my key. And his drive to succeed in the NBA was born of a desire to escape that environment. Kevin?
A tremendous work ethic, David. Thank you. So both teams making some changes here. And here in the second, with about a minute and a half gone by, San Francisco trails by 12. Looking to end the run. A beautiful reverse layup.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to pull off shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal.
Now here's Jones. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. That one goes in. Gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. And it's Harrison Barnes with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. So it's both teams making substitutions here. Kobe, how important is it for young players to have mentors?
Extremely important. I consider them the North Star. Right? They're always there to provide guidance and kind of a map of generally where you want to go, or the direction you want to go. And I always felt muses were important because if I could study them and see how they got to where they are, it'll help me avoid some of the landmines that they may have stepped on and had to persevere through.
And gracious of you to become a mentor now for so many.
Well, it's part of the responsibility, I think, of giving back to the game, right? The game has given me so much. I've had great mentors in my life, and I feel like it's important to pay it forward.
At the line, Jones. 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good. He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line. And it's Barnes with the ball for San Francisco. They trail by 9 points.
Yeah, they lost the momentum, and it's a bit surprising that that one got away from them because for long stretches, they were the better team.
And those are the games that really hurt. I mean, you're playing well, the effort's there, and in the end, it still isn't enough.
Now here's Barnes. To the paint. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, being at 48% from the floor, looking good. Outside, White. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. And Kobe, who is an early voice in your ear as you were just beginning your NBA career, who offered the kind of guidance and advice that you go back and look on and say, you know, that was huge for me to hear those words?
Oh, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. He was extremely gracious.
Was he
really?
My
second year in the league, he said, listen, anything you need, just reach out. And to this day, I reach out, hits me right back. We'll have great conversations. We'll talk about family and things of that nature. But when I was playing, things were very tactical. I'd ask him specific questions about specific moves or a specific rotation, and he'd give me great insight.
I would love to have heard some of those conversations. You and Michael Jordan in the crux of your career.
Yeah.
I bet those were interesting.
No, it was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah.
And San Francisco calls time here.
Yeah, he's got to make some adjustments here. Just too easy to score in the lane against them right now.
Well, I think the first thing they need to talk about are the rotations. There's a lot of miscommunication out there.
He's guarded by Davis. To the left side wing. Clock at 6. Out to the wing. 11 feet away. Misses off the left iron.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Look, he had all the time in the world to get the jumper off. Maybe it was too much time.
He's guarded by Davis. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. San Francisco trails by 11. San Francisco passing it around. And now here's Davis, the fast break opportunity. He kicks it to Taylor. Down low.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. And that unleashed chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Cover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. Tries from 10. Barnes can't get it to go.
Wow, he just does everything right there except hit the layup.
Outside, Davis. To the middle, Taylor. Trying to get open is Davis. Taylor's shot, good. Taylor's got 6 here in this quarter.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Oh, yeah, up by double digits. They're trying to keep the momentum, keep the foot on the neck. That's his focus right now.
And that's out of bounds. San Francisco will retain possession. And so it's San Francisco with it. 15-point game. Light covering. Just 5 on the clock. Can they get it? And nothing seems to work as that one misses, and he's 0 for 5.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Offensive rebound. Taylor's shot, good.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
He's guarded by Davis. A floater, and Davis pulls it down.
If he'd been even halfway decent today, the score would be a lot different, but he can't get anything to fall.
San Francisco trails by 17. Out to the right wing. White covering. Inside, and there's the whistle. 3-second violation. And here's the schedule for San Francisco, what it looks like. On Tuesday, they'll go up against C.J. McCollum and the Portland Trailblazers. Then on Thursday.
And for their matchup with the Magic, that's a contest that could easily go either way. Small mistakes could be the difference, and both teams will need to be at their best.
Pretty high percentage look with the D playing off. Just couldn't knock it down.
Barnes up top. Out left to the wing. White covering. With the floater. Got a piece of it. They get it back. San Francisco needs to get a shot off here. Kept alive. Their offense stone cold. Another miss there.
He keeps battling, but so far this quarter, he hasn't been able to get it going.
Taylor passes to Davis. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Back to Barnes. That shot is off.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Yeah, going up against a big run, trying to mount one of your own, I mean, it's exhausting and takes a tremendous amount of energy here.
And there's 1:45 left in the first half. Misses from close range. Well, 50% from the floor. Here's Taylor. Score the basket, his 8th. 8 for 13 from the floor.
Wow, what a sensational quarter from him. And as long as they have this lead, I'd keep going to him again and again and again and again.
Well, Kobe, I have to say it's been a real pleasure having you stop by our booth and spending some time with us for this game. Thanks again for coming by. I hope we can do it again.
We will, man. It's been a blast.
There he is, folks, the great Kobe Bryant. And you know, Chris, you and Kobe both playing from the same era of the NBA. He was sharing his thoughts about current trends in the league. Do you feel it's different from when you and Kobe both played?
Oh, definitely. I mean, when you look now, I do think that the game has changed, but I just think that's great because the game has evolved. Great players have come before us. Great players come and try to get better after that. And I think right now what you see is the accumulation of some great players and then young players studying the game and taking it to a new level. So can't wait to see where the game goes.
And that's definitely a shot that he has in his arsenal.
Davis kicks to White. Passes it to Taylor. The shot missing. And it's San Francisco the other way. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. The shot falls for only his second bucket, 2 for 9.
And you have to admire his focus. Not a good matchup for him in terms of size differential.
Well, he has the ability to make some subtle adjustments. I mean, just create just enough space to get your shot off.
To the inside. Taylor with the rebound. Taylor's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
I mean, I don't know whether to say it's amazing or it's sad, but you're down double digits and you still allow an uncontested layup. Where is the pride? Where is your heart?
And so it's the home team with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. They've got their field goal percentage to Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back. It is bedlam here. The hometown crowd loving that first half. I'm Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Taking a look at this home squad. Kenny, what did you see from them? And Shaq, let's get your input on the visiting team.
Their field goal percentage reminds me of Kenny's breath. Brutal. Not reading the defense, not getting enough quality looks. They need to make major changes because the system they ran in the first half was not working.
And that's going to do it for our halftime show, sadly. Third quarter about to start. See you again after the final.
Horn. Oh, buzzer.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You played, C-Web, for a number of different teams. How did you personally measure an organization's quality?
It starts at the top. It's the commitment to winning. It's the little things, caring for players, everyone else there on the staff as people first. And then also setting the tone, letting people know that we're a winning organization. You know, I've been to some organization, and the word winning has never come up from the top brass, if you could believe it or not. So you know who wants to win. You see the intensity on the owner's face. You see the intensity on everyone's face as well. And you can tell by that passion whose foxhole you're in.
And for San Francisco, and White kicks to Taylor. Sinks that one from the post. Taylor's got 20.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
And defensively, you know he's feeling good right now. And as the opposing team, you better adjust your scheme accordingly.
Here's Barnes. Second chance shot. Taylor with a rebound. Taylor's got 11 rebounds in the game. And Davis wide open. He shoots from outside off the mark.
And you can see why the D is willing to just back off and really take their chances with his jump shot.
White covering. Over in the corner, Barnes. 6 on the shot clock. Shot from 12. And San Francisco tacks on 2 more. Now here's Davis. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Here's Taylor. Goes to the fadeaway and cans it. Taylor's got 4 points this quarter.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Here's the dish to Barnes. 3-pointer. Kept alive. Off target at the rim. Gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Outside, White. Out to the right wing. Shoots from the corner. And it's San Francisco with the rebound. Barnes has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation.
And hate to make a mistake there, have to stay focused.
You're so right. Trying to shrink the deficit, sometimes you push too hard to make something happen.
And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Let's take a look at the 2K leaderboard to find out who the best defenders have been over the past month. Here are your steals leaders.
2 shots.
The first one falls. Not too long ago, C-Web, triple-doubles were widely celebrated. Now you see much more of them all over the league. What's been the change there, do you think?
I think the change has been the style of play and the removal of the big man. Being that there are no longer a slew of 7-footers in there rebounding, guards can come in there and do some amazing things in rebounding. And I'm amazed with Westbrook coming in and rebounding over the 7-footers. You also have better spacing, and so if I'm a one-on-one player, I get past my guy, I can trust that if I throw it to a wide-open shooter now, because of the way that we've drawn the defenses in, there may be a few more open looks. And so I still respect it. I still respect the energy, the focus, the fact that you have to be all over the floor to do it. But, you know, besides the fact that there's longer threes taken, or besides the fact that there's more small lineups, I still think it's a feat to be respected, even though we're seeing an increase in them now.
And when you take a look at that shot chart, the amount of misses lately, really unbelievable.
Man, this is a joke, right? I mean, there's been some glimpses of hope, but they've been few and far between.
Home team on D. No good there. Good D by Jones. Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. Hart, that's good. Hart's got his second bucket.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
San Francisco passing it around. San Francisco again missing.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Offensive rebound. Got a hand on it, and he gets it back. And there's the foul. It'll go on Josh Hart. That's his first foul. San Francisco trails by 21. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
The shot, no good.
It's been a really tough quarter for him. I mean, he cannot get his shots to drop.
And it's good off the glass.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Six to shoot. Fades. Taylor with a rebound.
Oof, rough shooting night tonight, but you can't fault him for the effort.
Hart kicks to Taylor. And there's the pass to Jones. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
Yeah, exceptional play there to take the bump and still get it to fall.
This is his third free throw attempt of the game. And that one falls for Jones. Coach Dave Yeager never missed the playoffs as head coach in Memphis. Chris, is it tough to go from that kind of success to a team now in rebuild mode?
You bet it is. I mean, it's a different challenge to build something from the ground up. It takes a lot of patience. You have to appreciate the small moments of progress, even when the wins are few.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Pass to Hart. Goes up the baseline. And no good that time. San Francisco is gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Snatched up. Lays it up off the glass. 11 points in the game.
Just a grinder. Always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass. And that's one of the things he brings to the table.
Stolen. Right wing. They get it again.
A really good rebound in traffic. That's what the big fella's there for.
Here's Jones. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
Too many inches being given up in that matchup. I mean, he's got no chance of putting a stop to that layup.
Last season, they were trying to speed up the game, C-Web. Teams were given fewer timeouts. Do you think they achieved that goal?
Well, yeah, the new rules, 18 to 14 total timeouts. No more 20-second timeouts. All quarters have 2 mandatories. I think it does help speed up. And these are the greatest coaches in the world. They can adjust. They just need to know what the rules are. And I love the fast pace, the fast pitch count. Let's make sure that we keep the game in a way that fans love it, and we're not leaving any time out there on the floor. I think the coaches have made a great adjustment to it. And look, play on the East Coast is always going to be a little bit slower, a little bit more methodical than the West. But I tell you what, it seems like it's speeded up the game on both sides, and that's something great for us fans.
Well said. It's deflected. Down low. Excellent D that time from Jones.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
Can't hit that one. And it's San Francisco the other way. They'll be playing host to Portland for their next game. That'll be the first of 4 played at home for him. Took him no time at all on that one. Gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. To the inside, and the layup's good off the glass. He has 6.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
San Francisco is gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Gotten half their shots to drop in the second half up to this point, going 7 of 14. .157 left here in the third quarter. Shot clock at 5. He can't get that one. And it's San Francisco the other way. To the left wing. Beyond the arc. It's good from long range.
Yeah, it's such a sweet three-point stroke there, and it can really open things up inside because as good as he shoots it, it forces the opposing bigs to have to step out on the perimeter.
On the wing, Jones. And it's blocked. To the paint. And 1:01 left in the third. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
It's his shooting that's kept them out of an even deeper hole.
San Francisco shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game.
One shot, gentlemen.
On the free throw, no good. Getting blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. There's 42 seconds left to play here in the third. Inside. From deep. And it's San Francisco with the rebound. On the wing, Barnes. He's got 8.
Two shots, gentlemen. 2.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. Barnes hits them both. This has been a one-sided affair.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of extending their lead and maintaining that intensity level.
Davis kicks to White. And that one falls coming off of Davis's feed. Davis has got his 4th assist in this one. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. The home team delivering the blowout. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Yeah, he put it on the platter and it was served cold. Now, I love the poise, the decisiveness. This is how you run an offense.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4.
He caught him in stride with the lead pass. Now, that was time.
San Francisco shooting just 28%. They are offensively out of whack and out of step with each other at this point. And for San Francisco, Barnes outside. Clock at 6. From the line. No good off the front iron.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Kicks to Davis. We know that stars, especially superstars, get some level of benefit from the refs. What do you think of that? Is that good for the game?
I think the refs should always be fair. I think, yes, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt if you're James Harden and you can cross everyone over and you get 10 free throws a game. He earns those most nights. But Yeah, it's going to be some nights in which he gets a call or two here because as an offensive player, you want to be so aggressive that you put the referees in a tough position to make a tough call and to see what that was. Fans want to see the best players play, not sit. So you have to be judicious with how far you go, but just sometimes slip in the tendencies. I used to get so mad when all I would do is go challenge a shot. The human kickstand would kick his leg out. The ref would say I fouled him. I didn't foul him. And the best actor in the world would get to go to the line, get a 4-pointer. And okay, Caleb, what was the question again? Stars. Oh, superstars getting.
I don't know. Let's stop. Let's stop. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
At the line, number 7. At the line for 2.
First one falls for him.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
Both teams deciding to change it up. Both good from the line that time. Each team has one inactive player per night. Would upping that amount, you think, C-Web, of active players on game day change anything at all?
I don't believe so because the inactive player we're talking about usually is at the bottom of the roster. And so if you look at the next man up theory, that means that the last guy on the bench at that time, it's his time to get that playing time. So I don't think that the inactive players would change anything because it's still a team sport, and those guys earn their playing time in practice. And so that guy at the end of the bench is still one of the greatest players in the world that can contribute at any time.
Didn't have any problem knocking that one down. Another defensive lapse leading to 2 more.
A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. San Francisco passing it around. Good on the bucket.
It's the moving target with the lead pass. He made it look so easy.
Gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. And it's off from 3-point range.
It's been a rough game for him, but it won't sting too bad as long as they hang on to the lead.
Second shot opportunity. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
No clue how he got that one to fall.
Compared to when you were playing, C-Web, how have the baseline skill requirements for the 4s and the 5s, the power forwards and the centers, changed, do you think, the most?
The ability to stretch the floor. There's a lot more emphasis on mobility, especially at the defensive end. And I don't think you can have a player who is a specialist anymore in the game. I've played with some great defenders. The Ben Wallace's, the Davis boys there in Indiana, but those positions are no longer valued or needed anymore. You can no longer be a defensive player that can't score on the other end. You have to be a player in the NBA now with the total skill set. That means mobility, shooting, dribble, passing. All of those things have to be encompassed, or there's a way to make sure to highlight you with the mismatch and take you out of the game.
Good documentation. I like it. Pass to Taylor. High post, Davis. And nothing is falling for him right now.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him, but luckily his teammates have picked up the slack.
Back to Barnes. Poked loose. Count it, number 5 from the floor this game. He's now 5 of 11.
And you know what? He's shaking off the cold shooting performance from the first half.
Here's Taylor. Lays it up and banks it in. Taylor's got 10 points here in the second half.
Still attacking, building on this lead coming down the stretch.
Well, what I like about it most is he's doing it efficient.
Light covering, the shot missing. Pushing it up. The shot from 20 feet away. That one wide left. San Francisco trails by 18. Passes it to Barnes. Good for his 6th make in a dozen attempts, shooting 50% with that basket.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Gone, 4 of 10 here in the final period. Not the time to go cold. To the middle. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
Oh, that's a nice look. Recognizing he had the opening to make the entry pass.
For San Francisco, they've got more than 58% of their attempts to go down for them in the fourth quarter. They're 7 of 12. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Davis looking for an opening. To the paint. Nice catch and finish on the alley-oop.
Oh, what a pass. And then he lays it in with the circus move.
So smooth. Got a piece of it. White with it. And it's Davis at the elbow. Beyond the arc. And it's White missing. San Francisco trails by 18. Barnes, right side. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. On Wednesday, they'll go up against Russell Westbrook and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then on Friday, they'll face off against DeAndre Jordan and the New York Knicks.
And just looking ahead to what's on tap, there are a lot of winnable games for them. But you can't go into the stretch with that mentality. You've got to focus on what's in front of you and bring it every night.
That free throw missing. And he's good on the second. And so Luke Walton decides to call timeout.
And he could tell his guys were dragging a little bit, calling timeout to kind of let them catch their breath.
And with his game closing in on the final buzzer, let's take a look at our Jordan Player of the Game.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
He sure has given this crowd a treat tonight. This kind of performance only cements his status as a fan favorite. Gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Outside, Davis. He kicks it to White. Now the pass to Taylor. And the layup is good. Taylor's got 32 points.
I'm sure he loves that matchup. He gives him a big size advantage down low.
He's guarded by Davis. Barnes up top. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
One shot.
But Luke Walton, he's definitely a coach players like to play for. I mean, it helps that he was a player not too long ago. Both stars and role players appreciate the candor and the opportunity he provides them.
Down low. Here's Taylor. Second chance effort, and he sinks the layup.
And you can see how this game is going. I mean, put a body on somebody.
And this is what happens when you get discouraged. Sometimes it just affects every part of your game.
Fires from deep. Hits the three-point bomb. And with Walton, you hear players talk about the leeway that he allows them.
And that extra bit of trust Walton gives goes a long way. It's why so many rookies have been able to flourish under him. Young players develop when you let them learn on the fly, and Walton has done a good job of creating that environment.
Just terrific determination. First compiling the lead, and now building on it.
Oh, man, and this is late in the game. It's tough for a team to come back. Everything has to fall into place.
To the middle, it's stolen. Now Davis. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Fellas, that's just like it's supposed to work. Don't give the D a chance to set up.
And again, it's San Francisco with a three.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Yeah, they've been tremendous from beyond the arc. It's a shift from what they did in the first two quarters, though.
Here's Taylor. Drops it in from 11 feet. Taylor's got 36.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
At this point, it's just icing on the cake. Terrific run, closes it out.
To the inside, and the dunk by Barnes.
This is not the team we've been watching for most of the night.
Monster scoring run, but had to do this earlier. Now it shoulda, woulda, coulda, all that.
Here's Taylor. Off target with the fadeaway. White covering. Can't connect from 13 feet out.
You can't be missing shots like that in the post. That'll get you a spot on the bench.
On the wing, Davis. 6 to shoot. Outside, White. Tips it up, misses. So the home crowd happy here as they get the victory. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense. Potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.